too? Man. Y'all remember last season when she tried calling homegirl and she ain't pick up for her? Sent Liv to the bottle. Why are you mad again? Go somewhere. Girl, we don't cut corners around here. You test for everything. Doing the right thing. She goes to pour out her water bottle, and y'all know how connected she is to that water bottle. Hey guys, it's Kaya. In today's video, I'll be reviewing All American Season 3, Episode 5, How Come? And there were a lot of how comes in this episode. But yeah, let's get into it. We've got Jordan. Middle of the game, passed out, watching his life flash before his eyes. Boy, done got a concussion. But then we got Asher, who at the same time is trying to suggest a play to Coach Montez for the team to do, you know, while he's still on the sidelines and everything, which she ends up going for since Jordan's out the rest of the game and JJ has to take over. And they end up winning. Jordan's doing too much. Season 1 to Season 2, could not stand Asher whatsoever. But he's been doing good this season, and I actually like how his character is progressing and how he's growing and learning from his past mistakes, even though everyone keeps throwing it up in his face. Meanwhile, there's South Crenshaw, who's 0 for 2. Losers. There's a lot of things they need to work out over there if they plan on making it to playoffs. Spencer, whose arm is still messed up because of his mental block. Chris, who's going through some issues, jacking up the game. And Frosto. Why are you mad again? Go somewhere. Y'all, we met an associate of Liv's. Not a friend. That's not her friend. But they've spoken like twice. And they got the same sobriety sister, who apparently Liv is on the outs with because y'all remember last season when she tried calling homegirl and she ain't pick up for her. Sent Liv to the bottle. I'll give Liv credit though because she's actually trying and has tried to do the right thing. You know, at the end of last season where she tried to contact her sobriety sister, but because there was no answer, she didn't have anyone pulling her back from the edge. Because it's not pills, she's not claiming it to be an addiction. But also in this episode, which I'll get into a little bit later, we also see that once again she was trying to reach out to someone at some point where it didn't happen again for her. So I guess we'll see at what point someone actually does answer when she calls, when she's actually reaching out for help to help pull her back, because at this point she's already over the edge, but just to help reel her back in and get her back on track. And I'm hoping it's soon because I liked good Liv. This Liv is good too though. Can we talk for a second about how gorgeous Samantha looked in this episode? Olivia. Her makeup, I loved her with the braids in the first few episodes. I would have loved to, they could have left the braids a little bit longer, but she looks so beautiful. Her makeup and everything, they did that. So we see a moment in the episode where Billy is doing a one-on-one training with Chris to try to connect with him a little bit more and see where his head is at, what's throwing him off of his game, if there's anything that he could help with as his coach. And he sees that Chris isn't really trying to talk about it. And Chris is trying to handle it his own way. So he leaves it at that. Our boy Spence is back in the chair this week, and his therapist is reading his little note he wrote last week, you know, the one where he realized that it's Coop is your stuck point. And he's telling him it's time to have that talk with her because that's the only way you're going to be able to move forward. Spencer's worried about his game that's coming up this week because he already, you know, they were losers this past game. So he doesn't want another repeat of what happened then to happen again. But the only way he's going to be able to do that is if he has that talk with Coop. And he's reluctant to do so because Coop is family. And, you know, it's understandable. You've grown up with this girl basically your entire life. And he's been there for her to protect her. Anytime she's needed someone, anytime when she hasn't even wanted someone to be there for her, he's been there for her. And you've done it so much that now you're at this point where you're the one paying for it. You're the one who can't even trust your body right now. And you have to have this tough conversation because yes, it's going to put a damper on your relationship with her, but it's going to allow you the ability to move forward and perform how you need to be able to perform. And then also let her know that, girl, it's time that you either start making some changes or learn how to fight for yourself because you're the one putting yourself in these situations. And why am I getting a bullet for you again? So meanwhile, while Coach Montez tells Jordan he can't play or train with the team until he gets the all clear from the doctor, Mama Laura, I love Mama Laura, is preparing breakfast for Liv because it's her 18-month anniversary, or it would have been, y'all. And she's going to be getting her chip and everything, and she wants to make more of an effort because the family wasn't really there for her like they should have been before. And Liv is making it like it's not a big deal. No one really celebrates 18 months. Yes, they do. And she's not really that hungry. But Mama Laura not dumb. She's recognizing some of this behavior, and it seems a little odd to her that Liv wouldn't want to celebrate. So since Billy wasn't able to make any progress really with the whole Chris conversation, and he wants Spencer to do it, he's letting him know that if Chris is unable to get past whatever it is that's holding him back, I'm gonna have to start looking for, replacements. And Spencer's like, does that go for me too, coach? You think you're special? Nah, he is though. Billy's letting him know though. He's like, if you tell me that you're doing everything you can to save that arm, then yes, he's gonna have to start looking for replacements. But we know now that he's not doing everything he can. He still has to have that talk with Coop. So if after he has that talk with Coop and he's still performing like trash, time for him to go too. Him and Chris, they can go somewhere else. Cause the way they're performing right now, 0-2, man. So now Spencer gotta go talk to Chris, right? And come to find out, he the reason Chris is traumatized. He had the boy up in the wheelchair, y'all. Chris was like, it's you. You're the reason. You the one that had me up in the wheelchair. You're the one that had me thinking I was never gonna be able to walk again. And now I gotta play on the same field as you? And it's Spencer, y'all. Spencer couldn't believe it. You had the boy thinking his whole football career was over. Spencer looked at her like he was the one up in the wheelchair. I mean, he was though, but for a whole nother reason. So Spencer goes to talk to Mama Grace about the situation, and she's just letting him know to try and see it from Chris's point of view. You hurt him to a point where he was in a wheelchair and he didn't know if he was going to be able to play football again. And yes, he's your friend. He's trying to continue to be your friend. And that's also why he didn't tell you before, because he didn't want to hurt you in that way by telling you he blames you. And it's honestly very similar to, not even very similar, it's the same thing as what's going on between Coop and Spencer right now. Only in this situation, Spencer is Coop. He's the one being blamed. He's the one who is the stuck point. And he realizes that he is Chris's stuck point and he can't play how he should be playing on the field. So Mama Laura hits up Billy, and she's just trying to find out if he has seen anything suspicious with Liv, or if he thinks she's using again like she does now. And he's just like, oh no, I don't notice anything. Nothing seems off. Liv just seems like Liv, I think he's just trying to get back though in their good graces. And he's there right now, so I think he's just trying to stay in their good graces because he doesn't want to mess it up. Whereas Mama Laura, she's truly concerned, and everything that's happening now is just stacking up with her suspicions that she has. So she wants to get Liv's fresh talk screen, but Billy's like, oh no, that would betray her trust and everything that we've worked so hard to build up, because Liv was all complaining before, didn't care about her getting her chip previously. That's also what has Mama Laura's radar up, because why don't you care this time? And I'm trying to make an effort with the family to come and support you during this time. And I sat here and slaved in this kitchen making all this food for you, and you don't want any? Something's up. So Jordan's all mad, which an episode wouldn't be complete without Jordan being upset about something, about not being able to play. And he's all, oh, Coach Asher, because Asher's working on plays for Coach Montez that he wants to suggest. He's literally sitting on the sidelines. What else do you expect him to do? But Jordan just sees it as, you're trying to give JJ my job. If Asher had the ability to give someone a job on the team, don't you think he'd give it to himself? Relax. And then he's over here throwing up in his face about the steroids and him giving away the team's playbook. When are they gonna let it go? They literally keep throwing this up in this boy's face every chance they get. And Jordan, weren't you the one who had daddy peeing for you so you could pass your drug test season 1? Leave Asher alone. So Layla is at the cafe with Spencer and Patience, and she's trying to help Patience's girl still get out of her contract with her daddy. Patience doesn't really want to put Layla in that position where she has to do something drastic to get her out of the contract, because Layla has, you know, really built her relationship with her dad over the summer with the tour and everything. So she wants to try to handle it on her own, which Layla is going to let her try to do. And Patience seems like she's leaning towards getting Mo to help her, because we did see earlier in the episode Mo eavesdropping on Patience and Coop having a conversation in the cafe about the contract, and she insinuated that she would be able to help Patience with that situation, but Coop was not having it. And you know, Patience was kind of looking off in the background like, I think I might want to take her up on that offer, but couldn't say anything in that moment because of Coop. And while she's talking to Layla now, later in the episode, you're kind of seeing her wheels turning in her head of her wanting to get help from Mo. Jordan is seen talking to Manny about his medical issues that he's been having recently. And we learn when Billy joins in the conversation that Manny was having those same problems when he played on the football team with Billy back in the day. And he was able to hide it thanks to them. They put this idea in Jordan's head. Manny was able to hide his symptoms by taking anti-nausea medication. And that right there got Jordan's wheels turning too. Billy ends up talking to Liv Girl, and he sees that she's not eating really. She was over there trying to drink some juice. She got her daddy wrapped around her little finger. She was like, "Daddy, I'm not taking pills." And he accepted that, because she's not taking pills. She over here drinking alcohol. And that's the thing. They're all just associating her addiction with pills, which, you know, she was taking pills before. But no, come on, you guys. They gotta see. Our girl needs help. Our boy Asher has now been put back in the game thanks to Coach Montez. He's been on good behavior. He's been helping out his teammates, you know? I'm so happy for him. But this kid Jordan, he gets cleared to play. How does he get cleared to play? Because he took some anti-nausea medication. And it's going to come back and it's going to bite him in the butt, because Daddy's not here to help him this time. So what is he going to do? Liv gets another visit from Amber, who Liv doesn't like too much, because this girl Amber is persistent. She's not letting up, and you know, she loves throwing that word friend around. And Liv's like, we're not friends. We spoke, what, 2 times? That doesn't make us friends. Dang. And Amber's just wondering. She said, the things that you're doing, the way you're acting, it's how I would act. I'm an addict. We're the same. And I'm just trying to be here for you. You know, if you need someone to talk to, and I feel like you just need to let someone in. And it seems like he's actually letting some of what Amber is telling her sink in a bit, and that she should try to get help, because it's only gonna continue to go downhill from here. There's no way you're gonna continue to keep it under control. So while she's left with that conversation on her mind, we have Chris, who Billy has now set up with maximum protection for their game. And it's all because Spencer knows what he's going through. He's apprehensive about being tackled again on the field because he was injured the last time. And Spencer wants to do everything he can for his teammate. Him and Frost will even come together to protect their boy Chris, you know? Progress. So Patience ends up coming to the school the night of the game and tells Coop that Mo got her out of her contract. Coop is not happy. But did we think she was going to be happy? Definitely not. And she's all upset because it was Mo that got her out of it. She feels like there was some ulterior motive. Why would you do such a thing? You knew that Layla was going to be working on it. No. Patience is telling her, I did this for us so we can now make our music together the way we want to do it. Not everything has to do with you. She did it because she wanted to do it. Or at least I'm hoping she did it because she wanted to do it. I mean, I want to believe Mo when she says she's here, you know, to just help the neighborhood and everything. I kind of do, though. She seemed a little sus to me still. But until she proved me wrong, I'm going to go ahead and trust her. But yeah, Patience is just like, I did this for me. I don't see what the problem is. She hasn't done anything to make you think otherwise. She literally got preached out of jail. She found Spencer's shooter, and she just got me out of this contract. Nothing was signed. I didn't promise her anything. What's your problem again? Now, Mama Laura. Mom's Laura ends up testing Liv's brush anyway. And Liv is, I honestly thought Liv was gonna flip out. But following that conversation with Amber, she was open to it. She was like, you can look at it. And, you know, Mama Laura was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I trust you, and I don't want to break that trust that we have worked so hard to build with each other. But Liv, she's finally ready to let someone in and let someone try to help her. So she tells her, no, I want you to open it. And you can tell she's very nervous as she's opening up the envelope. And this is where it all goes downhill. She tested for everything under the sun except alcohol. Girl, we don't cut corners around here. You test for everything. So yeah, she tested negative for everything else. And then alcohol is just not tested. And she was so surprised because her mom was like, Mama Laura was like, I knew it. I knew it. And then Liv was just like, now no one can save her because she tried to let you in. And every time she tries, you people let her down. Sponsors MIA. I don't know, that sponsor. Somebody better go check on her. And Mama, you had one job. One job, Mama Laura. I cannot. So then she goes to the bathroom, and once again, she's so close to doing the right thing. She goes to pour out her water bottle, and y'all know how connected she is to that water bottle. And Jordan comes barging into the bathroom and kicks her out just so he can barf his brains out. And now my girl is just stuck because there's only so much she can do to resist, and no one helped her. We have come to the stuck point. It's about time. Coop comes over to Spencer's house, and she's over here complaining about Patience and the conversation that they just had at the school with her getting Mo to get her out of her contract. And Spencer agrees with everything that Patience said, and Coop's not understanding how he could agree with Patience. And now he's finally voicing his opinion. He's telling her, everything I've told you not to do, you've gone ahead and done. Everything that has happened that is negative has been on you. So many times I told you not to do something, and you go right ahead and you do it anyway. And you look at us like we're the crazy ones when you're the one that got yourself in the situation. And I got shot because of it. And this is her. That girl Coop, she was like, you said Tyrone was the reason you got shot. You said it wasn't me. And it spent that realization hit him again. Came to him in that moment. He said, yeah, it was you. I said, ooh, he finally said it. That girl Cuckoo, like she got shot right in that moment. Yeah, so they're both hurt right now. Their relationship seems like it's a little on the rocks, but it doesn't seem too damaged. They're gonna make up at some point. And come next week, the boy Spence is up at his dad's cabin. He was trying to get away from everybody, but everyone just follows him up there. And I feel like this is where everything is about to come to a head. Simone about to be out. She gotta go do her spinoff. Layla made a little eye because she saw Spencer and Olivia with their little interaction. Olivia goes to walk away and she does a little shoulder touch. You know, so everything else is away now, but your fingers linger. Her fingers lingered, and my girl Layla saw them fingers lingering, and she needs to catch on. This is the episode where she's going to put two and two together, because there's no denying that touch right there. Everything else has been little puzzle pieces adding up for her, but this right here, next week, especially when she see that little linger touch, she going no. And Spencer and Liv are finally going to admit to each other these feelings that they have. I'm not sure if that's going to be next week though, but it's coming to a head, and I feel like next week is really gonna push for it to come, probably in the following episode. I'm all for Spencer and Liv being together because my girl Layla shouldn't be with someone who is in love with someone else. It's time for her to move on. She has a lot going for her. And Olivia, I feel like this is something that she needs right now, is this relationship, because it's something that she wants. It's something that they honestly both want, and they're too afraid to admit it. She's going through so much right now with her alcohol problem and school outside activities and trying to make it work in a relationship that she clearly doesn't really want to be in. She seems focused somewhere else. Her mind is always somewhere else. It's never truly with her and Asher's relationship, and at the same time she's having to look at the person that she's in love with be in a relationship with someone else. So that's a lot for her to take on right now, and I feel like if anyone can help her through what she's going through right now, it's Spencer. So hopefully that gets worked out as well within these next, I want to say 2 episodes, so we can get these new relationships going and see where these new friendships and everything lead to, because it's time for a little shake up and I'm here for it. That's everything from this week's episode, and I'll see you next week.